there's no time to waste. I knew this is what I want, and I don't believe in playing hard to get when you know this is what you want. You have to identify them. What really, really matters? What are your deal breakers? I don't believe in getting into relationship with fears. I feel like fears are like you're preparing for something to happen, and if it's not happening, you're going to do things that make that thing to happen.
It's not an issue of ignoring and avoiding things, but it's an issue of prioritizing things. You know that certain things are not priority. We can't have a meeting every other night, you know, as a couple, because you left something on the floor.
Hi, my name is Mapula Legodi, the confidence activator, and this is my husband,
Neo Legodi.
And we've been married for 10 years. And this is how we met.
How we met, we knew each other for a number of years. I think I knew her from when she was still in Sunday school, church Sunday school. Yeah, because I remember my big brother was a teacher of Sunday school where she was part of the Sunday school. And yeah, we don't stay far from each other. We became friends, I think, a few years before we actually started dating. We became friends, and what led to us eventually being a couple was that I think 1 year in, was it 2011? 2011, yeah, we went to a wedding together with friends. We went to a friend's wedding. After the wedding where we went with our friends, what we did was that we started to communicate over the phone because I was based in Pretoria and she was in Polokwane. So we spoke a lot over the phone. After the wedding, we spoke a lot, you know, the whole where you are initiating your dating stuff, whereby you start chatting for long hours over the phone. Personally, I'm not a person who does long calls, and even now she knows, I mean, the longest calls I could have with her, it can't be more than 5 minutes. I don't do that. But then, because you know how it is, because I wanted...
you were fishing.
Yes, I was fishing, you know, so we will have those long calls, those long chats, and then I think I did it over the phone because I took advantage that we knew each other for years, and there wasn't much to know more about her, you know. Most of the things that I would have wanted to know before I could date her, I knew
they were actually done.
So there wasn't much need for me to actually have a personal date where I can, you know, seal the deal. So I've actually, I might have actually shared.
You actually proposed on the phone.
On the phone,
on the phone, and then when you came back, we actually went to cappuccinos.
Yes.
That was our sport.
First date.
For the actual first dates.
But a lot of things happened over the phone because we already knew each other basically.
Yeah, and I think also for me was that thing, there's no time to waste. I knew this is what I want, and I don't believe in playing hard to get when you know this is what you want. So it was easier that we had that over the phone. You know, I really want this, and then meeting was just that official thing. He's back home. Why not? Let's just officialize this physically, and because also our families knew each other. Going to the families and the whole lobola situation was just so easy because I tell my mom, he's coming on the what. So everything was done in one day. We're done. No, come kokota and then come back again.
The processes,
The process was also so much easier because we all knew each other. It's just that these ones are coming to officially do this, and there was no, hey, one knee,
writing letters and stuff. It wasn't for us.
And that's basically how we met, and it did not even take a while because from April, October, lobola was paid. March, we were getting married. So in less than a year, actually, everything was able to be done and sealed, and 10 years later, we're here.
Exactly. Yeah, look, the transition from being single into being in a relationship, it's never a comfortable one. It is never that easy because I've been alone for most of my adult life before I met her. ever since after your matric, I've just been alone since then up until I would meet her. Yeah. So you had to change. But I think also what made it smoother for me was the fact that the first few months I was in Pretoria and she was this side. So I still had my space and my peace at that particular time, so whenever we'd meet, whatever weekend, I think, was it only after marriage or even prior to that, whereby mostly after marriage, is when I started to come back home every weekend from Pretoria. But prior to that, it would be maybe after 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so. So that helped, because you don't see this person throughout the week or for 2 weeks, and the moment you meet, you just ensure that you are not going to indulge in pettiness. You just had to focus on having fun, you know. So that was perfect, whereby you just avoid any petty thing that will actually take the fun out of it.
I think, the transition was quite nice and smooth, as per what he said, that we did not stay together. I mean, I was working in Guyana, he's working in Pretoria, and then we had a house in Polokwane. So you can imagine, weekend we're coming to Polokwane, that was our meeting point, and we were very intentional in the fact that we can't waste this moment. So when you can't waste a moment, you're already in a building mode. You're already in a let's maximize this moment. So if there is any petty thing that must be done or dealt with, it will be dealt with outside the space, maybe during the week when we are not together or whatever. But it became easier because we were intentionally building. And I think that has been, we've never really had like any serious thing that happened, any serious fight or whatever. People will tell you 10 years, there's been what. We've literally never had, because we were intentional in transitioning and becoming together and building this relationship and this marriage. So the transition has really been amazing. Like I say, intentionally building, meaning you choosing what really matters and what comes to the table and what really leaves the table without getting the necessary attention that it would want. So So I think when we met, how I knew that he's the one was the freedom that I got, being around him, that I'm able to be me without toning anything down, without having to change. Certain people will say, you're strong enough, you're too strong, you're na, and you feel the need to tone certain things down because you really want to be with this person. But for me, what really sealed the deal and say this is the one was the fact that he allowed me to be me, without having to give expectations of, I would need you to change this, I would need you to become this. So that was actually for me the freedom to be and become all that I want without restrictions.
I think also for me it's similar. In my case would have been the comfort of being around him, because this is somebody I'll spend the rest of my life with. So I did not need somebody that will make me, be in character when I'm with her, which was just going to be tiring. And I'm very relaxed person, very casual. I wanted to remain like that so that I don't need to act when I was with her. So the comfort of being with her, the comfort of saying whatever you want to say without selecting words. What if I say this and it rubs her the wrong way and I have to apologize? I'm very bad in apologizing. It's not my strong. Yes, I'm not good in apologizing anyway. I think anyone who knows me, I might be owing a lot of people apologies because I don't know how to apologize. So I needed somebody that whatever I will say will go, and she will, okay, it's fine, it's him, it's fine. I needed that. So with her, I felt that comfort that I don't need to be in character. I just needed to be myself.
I never had fears because I don't believe in getting into relationship with fears. I feel like fears are like you're preparing for something to happen, and if it's not happening, you're going to do things that make that thing to happen. Because what are you afraid of? Why do you want to be afraid getting into something that you don't know, you know? Because whatever that you are afraid of, you will eventually want it to happen because you are expecting it to happen. So I never came into the relationship with any fears, and that has been really amazing, because whatever that happens, we are able to deal with it as it comes, and there's nothing that we are having at the back of our minds that this might happen, and then you get to prepare for it, and then you anticipate for it. But I didn't go in with any fears.
Yeah, me neither. I think the issue has been, as much as I wouldn't say you need to get somebody who's similar to you, but at least get somebody with similar interests here and there.
Yeah.
We shared a lot. Look, from if we were to go into finer details, we don't have things in common in finer details, but overall the key things which are important, we are similar in the things that which are important, like our faith, what we believe in, you know, and family, friendships, and the like. So those things were a comfort of some sort, knowing that you are having similar interest in the core things or the major things. So that on its own eradicates fears, you know, in your relationship. So we didn't have much fears about particular. Personally, I did not have any fear entering into this into the relationship and even going further, because I knew that we are sharing similar interests on major things here. What makes our relationship special? Look, I think we not to blow our own horns, but I think we are good people. Based on the reaction that we get from other people whom we are having a role in their lives, I think we are good people, we are loving people, and we are fun people. For me, I think that is what makes our marriage very special. Like she said earlier on about challenges, arguments. You know, when you get married, people are always scared. They'll tell you the first year, because it's two individuals are coming together, it's going to be tough. We never experienced that. Then they said, wait for 3 years. We did 3 years. They said, wait for the first child. We had the first child. Wait for 5 years. We had 5 years. Wait for 7 years. Wait for the second child. Like now we are 10 years. I mean, this.
I think it's, we just intentional builders in everything that we do. And that has been one really special aspect for us, because even the people that we have an influence and impact on are able to highlight that we are intentionally building in everything that we do. We want to see what are we doing and what is the action that is required from us, and we put in the necessary action that is required for us to build. And that says to you that, look, you look at these things and say, but this is, and we capitalize on that. I think on the gold. This is that, because we've identified that is our gold. We are good at putting action into what we want to see, and that has been one gold that is also shining in other people's lives, and it's making a great impact. Also because, look, we are pastors, we have quite also a big influence in people's lives. So that has been one gold that we use in actually different spaces. If we're in business, that is our gold. And we are consistent in using that in different spaces. I think that has been one special thing that we have seen and other people also have highlighted.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you choose your happiness, you choose your best moments, in a sense that things can't be accidental in your life, you know. You need to choose what you want. Understand you can't fully have control over everything that happens, but at least you can create a perimeter of some sort of, this is what I'm allowing in my life and not. So that for us helps a lot, because we are people who hardly entertain petty things, you know, in our relationship. We counsel a lot of couples. You get people with issues which are leading them to divorce, and when you ask what are the issues, you realize according to our valuation will be like petty things. Understand, we differ, but there are people who tends to entertain every petty thing, you know. Every small difference, they want to entertain it in their relationship. So the moment you focus on such, you are neglecting the good things. So we are always it's not an issue of ignoring and avoiding things, but it's an issue of prioritizing things. You know that certain things are not priority. We can't have a meeting every other night, you know, as a couple. because you left something on the floor. You did not do that. Oh, why did you paint the house with this color? You know, we can't be having meetings around those kind of things. Yeah. Some of those things, we just look at them and you just diss whatever. She does something that you think this is out of order. You make fun out of it, or you just say something and then you leave it, and then we move on to bigger things. The key thing is that have priorities in your relationship. Have your fundamental goals, which must also be minimum. It is less than 5 fundamental goals, knowing that these are the only things that can actually rub me off the wrong way in a relationship. If it's not this, I do not care that much. You
actually literally just shine a spotlight on things that really, really matter.
True.
But like he says, you have to identify them. What really, really matters? What are your deal breakers? And I think for us, we've been really able to focus on that. Shine a spotlight on things that really, if it doesn't matter, Shem, if you left shoes there, those shoes, even if they stay there, it's okay. We'll pick them up again, we'll put them, you know. It's quite a lot of things that don't matter that people tend to put a spotlight on. But I think we've really managed to put a spotlight on things that really matter, and it has worked.
True.